So it says young rots here, or rots in the ground here, 1829. So that's what the moulders is. So we'll go across the grassy area here. And this is the marking place here of the paupers who are buried here in unmarked graves, as we can see in the inscription. In this ground lie the remains of several thousand poor. They all had names. So rest in peace to all the paupers who are buried here in unmarked graves. You're not forgotten. An interesting one over here. Look at this headstone. A huge hole in the middle of it. Wow, look at that. And there's no inscription on this one. I have one here as well. It's unusual, as the railing and the stone slab on top. And this is erected by James Forsyth Wilson in memory of his grandfather John Stewart, who died in 1814, aged 43 years old, I think. Also his uncle John died in 1824, and a number of other family names are on that. There's another grave I have to find in here as well. He was a United Irishman. And the story goes that he's buried in the grave here with his sister. He was buried in Belfast in St. George's Church. And his bones were removed from that church in St. George's and buried here with his sister many years later. Look at that one. Some super looking graves here in Clifton Street Cemetery. So they all really do have that similar looking. You can see this one here is just, the front is actually falling out on that, so that's why they have this kind of makeshift fence, we call it there, so to keep people out from, you know, any pieces that might fall on top of someone. I hope you're all enjoying the video so far. I'd appreciate if you give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. So here we have William Drennan, medical doctor, who was born in 1754 and died in 1820. And it says in the inscription there, pure, just, benign, thus love would trace the virtues hollowing this narrow space. The Emerald Isle may grant a wider claim and link the patriot with his country's name. What a great inscription there. So I think this might be the grave here, the United Irishmen. So on the blue plaque it says, erected to commemorate the bicentenary of the founding of the Belfast Society of United Irishmen, 1791 to 1991. So this is the grave I was speaking about. Just here we have Mary Ann McCracken, the beloved sister of Henry Joy McCracken, who was born in 1770, wept by her brother's scaffold the 17th of July 1798 and died in 1866. So this is the final resting place here of Henry Joy McCracken and his sister Mary Ann. And as I was just telling you there in the video, her brother's remains were moved from a different area in Belfast and were reinterred at this grave. And what a super burying place this is. Look up there. There's some more inscriptions up there. Wow, look at that. Maybe this could be another case of the body snatching here in Clifton Street Cemetery. That big gate on that. Wow. This one here has, looks like the roof has come off this. Parts are missing, the door is still there. I don't know if I'll be able to see anything in there. We'll have a look. I don't know what's in there. I think it's just a lot of overgrowth. But the roof of it is kind of up there. Very, very interesting. I'll make my way around and we'll see what we can find this way. Some of them are hard to read. There is another one actually I'm looking for, the inscription. There's a bit of humour actually in the inscription. So, you know when some people pass away and they like to have an inscription on their grave where they don't want to be too serious about death. And they actually write something a bit humorous on it. So I'm trying to find that. I've seen it when I was going around here having a look earlier. John Mathers, Esquire, departed this life in 1803, aged 78. It's a big area and I'd love to do a lot more here, but I'm actually moving on to other places. So if you like these videos, I have a few more very, very interesting ones coming up from Belfast here and the surrounding areas. Just here at this grave we have, this is erected by James B. Ferguson in memory of his beloved mother Belle, who departed this life in 1855. And just down the bottom there, I'll zoom in and show you, there's an interesting inscription there. In memory of 2nd Lieutenant James Ernest Ferguson, 10th Battalion Royal Dublin Fusiliers, who was killed in France on the 20th of April 1917 while leading the company and buried near Gavrel, only son of James Hindman and Jane Ferguson. So an interesting one there. So some of these graves here have marked with a stone here, a marble stone with some information. So we'll read this and see. So it says Thomas W. Gilpin was born in Philadelphia in 1806. He came to Belfast as Consul of the United States of America and lived in Arthur Street. He died of convulsions in January 1848. Here there was a slate tablet inscribed, "Here repose the remains of Thomas W. Gilpin of Philadelphia, who died at Belfast on the 11th of January, I think that's 42 years old. This simple tribute to his memory is raised by a few sorrowing friends." Wow. Very sad. So he died, it says, of convulsions and came from Philadelphia in the United States to live in Belfast. And that would be his grave there. And the inscription has gone off it, so they put that inscription on, so people would have a better idea of his life. Right guys, so I found right beside this big tree here, just in here is an inscription of someone that's buried here. And this is the one I was talking about with the humour in it. And it says young moulders here, 1829. Now, so from speaking to Mark tells me that the word moulders actually is another term for rotting. So it says young rots here, or rots in the ground here, 1829. So that's what the moulders is on that. Very interesting to see that, isn't it? Guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up here. I'm moving on to the next location. Thank you all so much for coming in to watch the video. If you like this video, smash that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel. So yesterday's history, tomorrow's a mystery, and today's a gift. Who knows what we're going to find. So take care, God bless, and I'll catch you all on the next one.